Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Daze and welcome to today's unseen video. This is where we round up all the big talking points from social media, and Naomi is a massive talking point. The leading fan theory, rumor, is that Naomi is pregnant. Now, I don't know that that's true. I have not seen anywhere anyone saying that that is what's happening, right? I've been tagged in this quote by Brian Alvarez quite a lot. There is definitely a rumor going around in WWE, and it's believed that that rumor is that Naomi is pregnant. She's not, like, in hospital. She was actually backstage at Raw. There's no word that she's on crutches or in a wheelchair or anything along those lines. It was obviously very sudden as well. Like, seemingly she's posting, having fun a couple of days ago, and then now she can't even compete on the show. So you can sort of understand how people are jumping to the pregnancy theory, right? But again, that's not been confirmed. If it is what in fact is going on, then she is going to be out for a long, long time, says Brian Alvarez. So we're going to have to just watch and see and wait till we get more news on this, of course. A lot of people are saying, well, what would we do if she is pregnant? Well, unfortunately, she would have to be stripped of that championship because obviously we need an active champion. We can't just put that belt on hold for like 12 months. So it's one of those, and it might even be longer than that as well, because if you think, like, obviously when the baby is born, you're not just going to then return back to work. It's obviously down to the mother as to kind of how long they want to spend with the baby. And as we know, I mean, Alexa was out for ages. I know Alexa had a lot of other things going on as well. But yeah, it's one of those where, I mean, she is a year at least out, probably much longer than that. So, yeah, this is big news, honestly, if it is that. But I've got to think that Clash in Paris would be Io Stephanie for the title. I've got to think we would crown a new champ at Clash in Paris. Stephanie obviously has got that title opportunity in Paris, and Io was meant to fight for the title on Monday. And so, just seems like a no-brainer, doesn't it? Stephanie versus Io, and a guaranteed new women's champion is crowned. So, there we go. I wish I could bring you more than that, but that's everything I've seen. Edward, thank you. Okay, the other big news is obviously all this here to do with Hogan. So TMZ have just dropped their kind of documentary about like how they found out about Hogan passing away. They've got some behind the scenes footage of them finding out and the moment that they found out. They've managed to get a hold of Vince, and Vince has done a sit down interview, and there's been some really interesting quotes that's kind of come out of it. So one of the things that this guy says, I don't know his name, I don't watch TMZ, but the guy that was hosting this, he was like, it really struck me, like the fact that you weren't there for the 10-bell salute and to kind of honor Hulk Hogan with, like, you know, the connection you had with him. And Vince said it struck me as well. So I think Vince, I don't know if he was expecting to be invited to have been a part of that. He can't have been surprised that he wasn't. But maybe the fact that something this monumental, the passing of Hulk Hogan, meant that, you know, he wasn't there. He wasn't allowed to be there to honor Hulk Hogan as the person that helped kind of deliver Hulk Hogan to the world, if you will. He wasn't allowed to be there. And perhaps that really kind of hit home to Vince. So I thought that was quite an interesting little passage. Here, he was just talking about some of the highlights of Hogan's career. And apparently this moment here, Hogan, when he pins Andre at WrestleMania 3, he says, "Thanks, boss," to Andre, because that was Andre's nickname, was the boss. And apparently Andre said, "You're the boss now." And actually Vince gets quite choked up as he's kind of retelling that story. Vince, on why he pushed Hulk Hogan, he said, "I knew what America wanted." So I think this is going to be a real fascinating watch. I've not had a chance to watch it, but I can kind of piece it together from the amount of quotes that's all over social media. Vince said that Hogan had kicked out loads of times from different surgeries. So when he didn't kick out of this, it was a tremendous shock and a blow to Vince's heart. And we've got an in-depth quote here. So, Mitchell, thank you. And this is more in-depth because it's to do with the racist comments that Hogan made. So, Vince said it was unforgivable. And I was like aghast. What happened? And when those things occurred, that's not like him. What in God's name is going on? As soon as it happened, obviously the company didn't have anything to do with him anymore. We took him out the Hall of Fame. You just don't do those things. I knew he wasn't racist. I'd been with him for so many years. He wasn't racist. He said some racist things, and he should pay for that, and he did. In the end, I think everyone saw the real Hulk Hogan, Terry Bollea, and they felt, wait a minute, this guy doesn't act like a racist. He's not a racist. We all make mistakes. That was a big one, but he wasn't a racist. I mean, I feel like there's so much to unpack there. I feel like there's so much to say, but with so much to cover, I'm going to let you kind of have your own thoughts on all of that. Vince said Hogan's appearance on Raw on Netflix premiere wasn't set up properly. He said, I got angry. That's not the way I would have done it. So, yeah, I mean, he says you don't just throw Hulk Hogan out there like that. Like, he is special. Like, you set it up properly. And, yeah, he said he got angry about that. I mean, it's a bit like a lot of those old wrestlers that watch current wrestling. And they're like, oh, man, they just don't know what they're doing in the ring. They're not selling. They're not telling a story. They're rushing through things. And you hear a lot of, like, the old-timers being quite down on the current product. It's always that way, right? It's always that way. And I get the feeling Vince is probably the same as well with the current products. Like, well, I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have done that way. And there he's saying, I got angry. It's not the way I would have done it. So, and that was just about the Hogan return. I mean, think about all the other things he's probably got angry about since leaving and all the different booking decisions that have been made. So, yeah, just a glimpse, just a kind of insight into Vince and his thoughts on Hogan's passing and some very interesting comments there. Okay, let's go over to WWE. We've got quite a bit in here as well. There's just so much doing the rounds today. Okay, I really wouldn't get caught up on this because I think we're sort of focusing on the wrong thing personally. But Karrion Kross signs were reportedly confiscated. Now, apparently a couple of people, I think, have mentioned to Dave Meltzer that they saw some signs being confiscated. No word on how many signs. And it could even be some of the signs that made it onto TV. I think there was like 4 or 5 signs, and maybe a couple of those got took away. I don't think this is like hundreds of signs. I don't even think it's like 10 signs. I don't think this is really anything that's worth focusing on, because if people did go to Raw and they were really trying to get their message across about Karrion, then where was the chance? This is why I'm saying, like, I wouldn't focus on this, because this just doesn't feel like... It doesn't feel to me like WWE have managed to take a load of signs away and kind of stop the We Want Kross movement. I sort of feel like this is getting blown out of proportion. Probably because a lot of people were really surprised, myself included, that there wasn't loud We Want Kross chants. So people are trying to understand why. So, of course, if a report does the rounds that signs were confiscated, then all of a sudden you start to go, right, so there was signs. And it's like, well, no, I don't think there was. Personally, I've got no evidence or no proof. The only thing I'd say is that if I wanted to get a message across and they took my sign away, I would be chanting it. And there was no chance. Right? There was no chance. There was even a video that was doing the rounds of a guy saying he was trying to start a chant and no one was biting. No one was going for it. So I think, honestly, having done the video we did yesterday, I've kind of come to the conclusion of we were in a French-speaking part of Canada. I think we can agree that that is not New York, and it is not Philadelphia, and it's not Florida. And so, you know, we were in a very unique market we were in, I don't think it's unfair to say, a different market, right? And so I don't know how the Karrion Kross, We Want Kross movement, how that has performed on the French-speaking side of Twitter, right? Plus, in another country like Canada, right? Might not have been as strong. Might not have had as strong a presence as it did in America. So for me, it's all eyes on Friday, all eyes next Monday. It's all eyes this weekend to see, are there signs, are there chants, and take it from there, yeah? So if you are part of that, like, We Want Kross movement, as I said, don't get, like, disheartened or anything like that. Let's just have a look and see what goes down, like, this weekend with SmackDown and with Raw. But I wouldn't put too much stock into this. I personally don't think that there was that many signs that were confiscated, but that's just my thoughts. Right, Bayley has put out that video, and then she put this out, right? Which is obviously backwards. But to be honest with you, I didn't even notice straight away. So who am I giving credit to? I'm giving credit to Wrestle Night. They were the first ones that I saw going fake happy. So it's not the most cryptic of clues in the world. It's just backwards, but fake happy. So very interesting there. So not only has she put out that fake happy message and written it backwards, a little bit Wyatt SICKS-esque, little bit cryptic clue-esque. But yeah, she's obviously posted this vignette on her own account as well. I don't know. I mean, a lot of people are saying, like, is it going to be a dark Bayley? Is it going to be a crazy Bayley? I would rather crazy. I would rather going down a split personality, something like. I think if we go down the dark, spooky road, I feel like that box is being ticked by the Wyatt Six. And I mean, I'm personally not really looking for Bayley to join up with the Wyatt Six. I'm not against Bayley and Nikki maybe going for some tag titles. I could do that, you know. I could vibe with that. But I sort of feel like Alexa's going to join the Wyatt Six eventually. And I sort of feel like I would just do it with them. Alexa and Nikki can kind of go after tag titles when Alexa ends up joining. And she's going to. You know, she's got loads of references on her gear. We know there was the Six on Lily, for example. We know that Alexa said the other day she's definitely going to try and bring some supernatural elements back to her character in the future. And we know from Nightbird that Alexa's meant to be that sixth person. So Bayley getting involved now just seems so random. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure that I would look to push her in the Wyatt Six direction, but I'm very interested as to where we're going. And if she ends up going with Wyatt Six, I'm sure we can make that work as well. So Edward, thank you. Right, Fade said ESPN chairman Jimmy Pitaro said ESPN will be interested in bidding for the entire library when the rights become available. So that would be great. I mean, I don't know when they're available. I would have thought they're available now, to be honest. I mean, they're currently sitting on Peacock, aren't they? So can they not be negotiated now? Because we've already negotiated the premium live events moving off Peacock. Why can't we negotiate the library stuff coming off Peacock? So don't really understand why we can't get that ball rolling now. But maybe there's a bit more of a barrier to that or something. I'm not sure. But interesting. Okay, CM Chunk said, here's some more details about the Wyatt Six attractions. I actually haven't had a chance to read this yet, so we can have a little look at this together and see what we're dealing with. So this year we'll see two separate attractions. The first is housed in Universal's Orlando Park. The idea came together after this guy saw the Wyatt Six debut. Their entrance of them wrecking havoc and destroying environments unique to the backstage of the live show. It looked like one of our haunted houses, so I placed a call. So let's have a look. Two different thrilling experiences. The Orlando house will allow patrons to venture through the abandoned Firefly Funhouse, featuring remnants of the Fiend's influence. People will then see WWE media taken over by Uncle Howdy and dive into the minds of the Wyatt Six. Sections of the house include things like Abby's witch hunt, Rambling Rabbits, Spiraling Tea Party, and more. That sounds great, doesn't it? So you actually get to go into an abandoned Firefly Funhouse. Man, that's going to be so good. The Hollywood edition. So there are 2 locations. Of the Wyatt Six Horror Night, on the other hand, is themed around the Wyatt compound. So you need to go to both, really. You need to go to Florida, get on a plane, and then go over to Hollywood, right? It's called This Bayou in the Middle of a Swamp by Uncle Howdy. And according to Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios, it's going to be an environment I've never done at Horror Nights with fireflies. Journeying through the house, patrons will see various set pieces tied to the Wyatts. These include Bray's rocking chair, Uncle Howdy's cave, Bray's lantern, and more. So I don't really feel like we've had loads of info there. This one seems to be a bit more bayou, swamp, Wyatt family maybe, Bray's rocking chair, the lantern. So maybe that's a bit more Wyatt family in vibe. And this one is more funhouse in vibe. So, yeah, really interesting, though. Really interesting. So that is the Halloween Horror Nights. So I think there's one here. So the Horror Nights, Orlando, Abandoned Firefly Funhouse Set, California, Wyatt Compound and Swamp. So, Larry, thank you. Okay, Asuka's heel turn was scheduled to be more of a slow burn over the next few weeks, but when those Raw plans were reconfigured, when Naomi was pulled, WWE pushed it forwards. So this was going to take longer, apparently, but as soon as they had to rejig things, they've pulled the trigger. Listen, I could see Io winning that championship and then defending it against Asuka, if that is the direction that we're going. Okay, Bully Ray believes WWE are starting to deliberately leak false information. Right now, I believe that the business, in order to protect itself, is going to have to enter a very espionage-esque way of doing things. So Bully's saying, I think they're leaking fake news, fake info. And Sean Ross Sapp, obviously, is one of the biggest reporters we've got, right? Journalists we've got. And he's like, who is WWE when people say this? People have claimed this for years. No official, PR, or employee has ever deliberately leaked me false information across thousands of stories, or else you would just know who was saying it. So I suppose what Sean is saying there is if someone kept telling me fake information, they're not going to be a trusted source, are they, going forwards? So it's not really going to work. So, I mean, I wonder if they could get the odd fake story out, not just like constant fake stories, but just the odd fake bit of information, you know. So, and maybe they don't even know. I mean, wherever they're getting the information from, these people that work in WWE, be it someone that works in makeup or be it someone that, you know, is ring crew, or I don't know where these leaks come from, maybe from wrestlers, but it could be stuff they've heard and maybe they believe it, but maybe that information they've heard is incorrect. So it still finds its way getting out, but it's false. It's not correct. Don't know. It's an interesting one, that. Interesting. Also interesting is this. WWE are going to auction off Seth Rollins' Ring War outfit from the SmackDown Before Elimination Chamber. So, not Sam Roberts. Tomorrow, Fanatics Live, they're going to be auctioning off. I think this is the outfit. So, that is going to be auctioned off on Fanatics Live. So there we go. If you are a Seth stan and you want to own that. Right, let's go other, shall we? So Bret Hart said he doesn't feel appreciated by WWE because they invited him to SummerSlam, but they didn't have any seats for him. How do you invite someone to SummerSlam and then go, yeah, sorry, no, you can't sit down? How does that work? I went to SummerSlam. They invited me down this year and they told me they wanted me to be in the crowds. Then they told me once I got there that I didn't have any seats. I noticed Kevin Nash got a seat. I don't feel like WWE maybe realised that they don't think they've ever really appreciated me, even after Hulk's passing. There is no certain appreciation for anything I did. Someone told me there are only 3 wrestlers alive who main evented one of the first 10 WrestleManias. Slaughter is one, DiBiase is the other. Don't plan on going anywhere for at least another 30 years. So I suppose the point he's making is that there's only 3 people left that have main evented one of the first 10 WrestleManias. Slaughter, $1 Million Man, and Bret Hart. And he's like, they just don't appreciate. That's that's nothing compared to the other things he achieved in his career. It is a bit wild to invite him down and then reveal you haven't got a seat for him. And then for him to see that Kevin Nash has got a seat, I can sort of see where he's coming from. I mean, I don't know. For me, if I was in those shoes, I wouldn't go public with that. I might have some private frustrations, but I wouldn't really be going public with it. But hey, listen, it's not stopped Bret before, and it probably won't stop him in the future. Right, Ariel Helwani, Wednesday, live, in studio, Carrion and Scarlett. So it's pretty big, isn't it? So, Kapata, thank you. Yes, the Riz has revealed what's actually happened with her injury, because, of course, she's got the ACL tear. And so, let's... It's quite the look. Let's get an update, shall we, from the Riz.
How I tore my leg. How I tore my knee. What happened? Why did it happen? I've gotten a lot of people speculating, oh, you were doing this, you were doing that. You know what? Just right up. You already know. You already know. First of all, none of your business. But I'm going to tell you anyway. I'm going to tell you anyway because I'm sick of hearing. I'm sick of the speculation. So here's what happened. I had a partial tear. Partial. Not fully. Partial tear on my ACL. A year and a half ago, I was doing a throw over my head and somebody pushed my knee in, partially tore my ACL. Whatever. I'm fine. I worked through it for a year and a half. Yes, I knew there was a chance it was going to fully tear. But I wasn't about to sit out for a year and a half because I got, a splinter on my ACL. I'm going to get surgery when the whole kabang goes. So I'm going to go as long as I can until that happens. Yes, I knew it was a possibility. Yes, I made the decision. Yes, I'm still happy about my decision. So what happened was I was at practice. I was doing a drill. I'm running over to the corner and boom, my knee just, bada bing, bada boom, explodes. I fall over.
Bada bing, bada boom. There we go. So obviously a fantastic follow. The D'Angelo family, right? That's brilliant. That's Riz explaining her torn ACL and meniscus. But I mean, in a very, very intense, in a very, very entertaining way. Right, Disney in talks to make the ESPN DTC service available to more cable subscribers ahead of this pay-per-view deal. I almost didn't include this because if it's, this is all just confusing. This whole stuff is just confusing. So, the kind of stuff that I'm reading now, customers of Comcast, Xfinity, YouTube TV, Sling TV, and other major cable providers won't have access to the ESPN DTC platform at launch. But apparently they're in negotiations to try and get those agreements in place by the end of 2025, which would be well before WWE moves. So, do you see, it's just messy, isn't it? It's one of those where we're going to have to wait and see how it kind of all plays out. But at the moment, it seems like there's still a bit of work to be done. So, we'll have to revisit that. Maybe not worry about it this year. Revisit it early 2026 and see where we are. Okay, let's go. We don't want fun because we've still got NXT. My God. Right, Cutler James gave us another quote this week, right? We're going to smash their teeth in. Then we're going to start taking turns on their ass. And then we're going to beat them down again and again until we finish on top. And you can see everyone like... So, once again, Cutler just kind of being a little bit out of sync with the rest of that group. JC Jane against Masha against Ash by Elegance has been booked for Heatwave Sunday, August 24th. There's going to be a triple threat. So there we go. Triple threat made for Heatwave. Next week, we have got winner challenges Oba at Heatwave. Is it going to be Javon or is it going to be Trick? That should bang. Then, of course, we got Jasper Troy against Ricky Saints. That should be fun. Then we've got a street fight. Inamura against Briggs. Really looking forward to that. And not a match, just a face-to-face. Blake Monroe face-to-face with Jordan Grace. Right, yeah, this was pretty wild. So here we had Chelsea on the show. She was kind of checking in with some of the women, and then we had Hank and Tank dress up as Sol Ruka and Zarya, and I just missed the communication at the start from Ava, where Ava said, like, I don't want you guys around tonight. I know that you're going to interfere in the match and go after Dark State, so I want you to stay away. So Hank and Tank basically dressed up as various different people to find a way of sneaking into the building. So here they were as Sol Ruka and Zarya, and Zarya said, Hank and Tank have never looked better. So there we go. I thought that was pretty fun. I didn't get it at the time. I didn't understand what the hell was going on at the time. But thankfully, the watch-along live chat brought me up to speed. Right here, look, we've got a bit of dancing from... there we go, Fallon Henley as Lola's in there. And then JC starts in the background. Seems like people just can't avoid having a little dance to Lola's music. So Johnny said, we've got a dance off. Let's go. It was such a fun episode of NXT this week. Really, really was. Lash Legend against Nia Jax. It could be Nia Jax's best ever match. Like, our community scored it great. 82%. Like, that puts it up there with like some of the best matches, some of the best, certainly the best NXT matches. But I think it kind of puts it like easily top 20 of the year type situation of all the matches that we've seen on the channel. So Lash Legend, Nia, really, really well received tonight. Got the highest rating out of all the matches. So if you've not seen it, check it out. It's really good. Really, really good. So lots to look forward to next week on NXT, and as we continue to work our way towards Heatwave. Right, let's go fun, shall we? Yeah, I'm going to have to take the sound down, but obviously this has got Booker T's music playing, right? Can you dig it, sucker? You know what's coming. Spinneroonie. But look at this. Dudes. Dude, that is insane. Look, they've got their phones out ready. They know how good he is. Can you dig it, sucker? Look at that. That is really impressive. Black Ice, shout out to you.
I'm in the middle of my wrestling match right now, but if I land this bottle flip, Stephanie Vaquero, you're going on a date with me. Oh, hey, don't cheer for me. I'm not buying.
There we go. I'd love to see a reaction to that. I'd love to see Miles Bourne's reaction to that as well, considering they're going out and seeing each other at the moment. So, yeah. And Going Ghost, thank you. Tagged me in this, but it's also doing the rounds on X. So it's a bit easier to watch it this way. So Mark Firefly Forever, thank you. This is CM Punk doing Jay's Yeet. I believe this was after Raw. So there he is. He goes over, starts yeeting away, doing Jay's thing. And what's brilliant is in a second, he runs it back as well. There we go. They're yeeting away. Look, he gets the microphone. He's in the middle of the ring and he's like, should we run it again? Should we go again? Yeah! And then goes over this side. Yeah, there we go. There we go. He's just living the dream of what it must be like to be Jey Uso, doing that entrance. blowing yourself up before you've even had your match or said a word on the microphone. And he's just living his best Jey Uso life. So I love that for him. So there we go. A couple of little bits in there. Okay, I think we've just got community and thanks now. So community, J Omega getting a like, is it? Yes, a like from Ava. Congrats. Raymond got a repost from Tatum, got a like as well. Very, very good. Congrats. Wyatt OG picked up 2 of those Wyatt 6 books. And Fiendish Howdy got their book as well. So here we've got just a little glimpse as to what's inside. So a lot of people have been getting these books. They were out of stock for a time, weren't they? I mean, it looks brilliant. Looks so interesting. Lots of stuff in there to kind of dig into. I don't think anyone has really found anything necessarily new. I think a lot of it is based on Nightbirds. But even so, what an item to own. I think that's brilliant. From a merchandise point of view, you know, it's lovely seeing items that aren't just T-shirts or pop vinyls, you know, or championship belts. Like, it's nice to have some other things. I think that's great. I think that's absolutely brilliant. I really love those. So there we go. That was community. Let's do thanks. Let's get out of here. So Elite Pro Wrestling Forum, Robin, Huddle Talk, Cal, appreciate it, bud. Chris, WrestleBuzz got theirs as well. Edwards, Michael, Wrestling's Biggest Fan, Sweet Chin Wrestling, Claire Webb, Little Bit of a Fan, Raymond, Andrew, Big Migs Gaming, It's Kaz. Really appreciate a lot of people actually sharing that video. I've not been getting chance to kind of put it over onto X recently, but so many people sharing the video all the same. So all of you, a big thank you. Not you, WrestleBuzz. You don't get a thanks for that. But a big thank you to all of these people, not WrestleBuzz, but all of these people. And an extra special thank you. Yeah, Michael, thank you. But look, an extra special thank you to Kelly. Kelly said, okay, I really hope these are posting because I can't find the ones I posted last week. I was about to be a little something. She was about to go off. Things were about to kick off in the community because I've not been in the thanks folder when I know I've shared the videos. Then I realized that I need to actually tag Daze. So Kelly's been putting all these links to these videos, and didn't tag me in them. So I, of course, was not seeing them. And as a result, they were not making their way to the thanks folder. But I just want to highlight that, Kelly, you did tag me in this one. And you made it. You made it. You made it to the thanks folder. So there we go. Kelly, thank you. And that's it. Yeah, really appreciate everyone joining us. Appreciate people joining us for NXT. Of course, we're back later with our Evolve stream, so looking forward to that. We'll have another Unseen after that as well. And yeah, on we go. So appreciate the support, and I will see you again next time. Bye for now.